World News. We talk about electric vehicles, green energy, and the stock markets. I want to welcome everybody to the call today. Thanks for joining us, and I hope everybody had a great weekend. And let's get started. Let's see what we've got in store for today. All right, let's start out. Here's a little bit. Here's our evworld.com website, and we're going to start talking about the U.S. seeing major growth. This is from Clean Technica. U.S. EV growth market U.S. EV market grows 29% in the fourth quarter. Tesla holds 50% market share of that in the United States. This is quite interesting. So this is from 22 versus 23. There was a 29% growth, but the year before, from 21 to 23, or for a 2 year period, it was 122% growth. Now, you've seen talks about how EV sales have slowed down. What it is the growth in EV sales have slowed down. And that's kind of an interesting concept to delineate. And here's US EV sales in the fourth quarter. Tesla Model Y alone sold 105,000 cars. And then the Model 3 sold 47,000. That's a big jump from the next one. And what's interesting is Rivian came in next, followed by the Chevy Bolt, then the Ford F-150 Lightning, and the Ford Mustang Mach-E, where we start seeing some traditional car manufacturers. The Model X wasn't far behind, and the Model X doesn't represent a very big part of sales for Tesla. I think it's less than 5% of Tesla sales. Volkswagen ID4, Hyundai Ioniq, Tesla Model S still sold 7,500 cars. We started getting a little smaller, BMW iX, some Mercedes models, some other Hyundais, Cadillac, Kia, Nissan. It's just interesting. You see down here, way down low at 2,800, Toyota BusyForks sold, but they also sold the Lexus RZ. 2,000 Hummer EVs sold. That's a pretty big jump, but it's interesting there you get seeing a whole lot of little ones. There's something here called a Zevo 400, a Zevo 600. Never even seen these vehicles, but that's interesting to see. This was just for the last quarter of last year. Now, this is from Car and Driver. And you see these headlines that EV sales have dried up. They sold reasonably well in 23. Here's the forecast for 24. So in 23, EVs made up, oh, let's see here, 1.36 million vehicles. And this includes plug-in hybrids and all battery vehicles. 8.8% of the 15 million cars sold were EVs. Now, this was for 2023. That's by far the highest ever in the United States. In 2024, it's expected to go from 8.8% of sales to 13% and total about 1.9 million units. That would be another 650,000 or 550,000 units here in the United States. Now, the sales of battery electric cars at 8% equaled those of conventional hybrids also at 8%. And those would be ones that weren't plug-ins. Now, this is pretty steady. Some makers like GM and Ford have delayed investments to future EV battery or assembly capacity. They've had a difficulty. They pushed out factory startup dates by a year. Isn't canceling it altogether, but some of this may have to do with pricier loan rates. And some significant new vehicles are now arriving at dealerships. The Kia EV9 is a three-row mid-size family SUV. Um, the other three-row EV SUVs include the Mercedes-Benz EQS, Rivian R1S, Tesla Model X, and the Hyundai Ioniq 7. Now, the Ioniq 7, they're looking at building an all-new EV-only plant in Georgia that should open up by the end of this year. Here's something else that I thought was kind of interesting for today. So in terms of EV range. This is a chart showing how EV range has been growing from year to year. So the top number is the max range vehicle offered in the United States, and the lower number is the median range. It's the most common range. This is interesting. Go back to 2011, it was only 68-mile median with 94 max. Jumped immediately in 2012, but we still see that the most common cars, 76, 82, 84, 90, it wasn't until 2016 we really saw a big jump in this. Went back down a little in 2017, I guess because more cars were offered, but we keep seeing the max range going up. Now, interestingly, for 2022 and 23, it's the Lucid Air, which has an enormous battery, 520 miles and 516 miles. We keep seeing this, the most common range of a new EV, cycling up to 270 miles. Now, next, we're going to talk a little bit about some stuff going on in batteries. So, Mercedes is saying that solid state batteries may not be necessary. And this is quite interesting because I want to talk a little bit about lithium ion, solid state, and sodium ion batteries today. So, this is one of the things. This is an article by Autocar, but Mercedes chief technology officer Schaefer said improvements in the energy density of lithium ion batteries has been unexpected to the point where they could end up being neck and neck with solid state batteries in terms of cost and energy density. Now, one of the big things is the extra density of a solid state battery is that it can hold more energy for the weight and the size. And so could be beneficial in some other applications like in aircraft. Now, what's been surprising is they've been able to pack more into the lithium ion. Now, one other thing with solid state was the fact that it couldn't catch on fire, but there's been many improvements in lithium ion technology in vehicles that are starting to end this problem with the fires. The most common place where you're seeing fires in EVs is in the bikes, and it's generally cheap bikes. Now, he said they're very optimistic forecasts a while ago with potential rollout of solid state battery tech, but it's still looking at years. Now, Nissan and Toyota both plan to have solid state in production in 2028 and see it as a key breakthrough. So, ultra fast charging as a way of getting smaller car batteries into electric cars, that's a possibility, I suppose. But, next I'm going to look at something here, sodium ion batteries. So, sodium is basically salt. Salt is everywhere. When you make batteries with sodium, you also don't need cobalt as opposed to lithium ion batteries. So, these are two key rare earth elements that you don't need to take them from companies that are we consider to be not the best trading partners. Now, so let me see. Sodium makes up 40% of table salt. It's heavy though. So if you start making the batteries out of sodium, they're going to be heavier. Sodium batteries are relatively inexpensive and free from supply chain issues. They're approximately one third cheaper currently when they're not being done much. They're one third cheaper than making lithium batteries. Sodium is the sixth most common element on Earth, makes up 2.6% of the Earth's crust. Now, it's it's about 3.3 times greater atomic weight than lithium. Now, that doesn't mean the battery's three times heavy. It just means that that particular piece is going to be heavier. The sodium-ion batteries have relatively low energy densities. There's a potential for this to increase in the coming years. Now, talked about this a little bit recently. Swedish battery maker Northvolt is making sodium ion batteries for BYD. And now there's a US startup called Aculon adding more fuel to the sodium fire. Aculon expects production of its new sodium ion batteries to begin at the pilot scale this spring and hit the scale of 2 gigawatt hours by the middle of this year. Sodium ion batteries are free from conflict minerals or premium input minerals like lithium carbonate or cobalt, increasing the sustainability profile among advanced battery chemistries. Aculon already had a wide field of energy storage experience under its belt, and it is looking at a wider range of applications for the new batteries. Now, so this is quite interesting. So we've discussed, the difference between sodium, lithium, and solid state. And I hope you found that useful. And that's all I really got to cover for today's topic. If you enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments, or if you have any questions, please like the video because that will get it shown to more people and allow me to get this out to more folks. Anyways, to everybody that's been watching, have a great day.